Good morning. Good morning, Vada.
Good morning, Dr. Asher. How are you doing?
So, yeah, I'm doing good. So you will be always first, yeah, to join for the session.
I think so.
Yes, yes, yes. You're the one who joined the first in every session. We're having the same in our PhD program, where one student name is Pille. He used to attend the session first. One day I decided to join before him, 5 minutes before. Yeah, I decided to join 5 minutes before because I want to be the first. Again, he was there. I understand he is almost joining before 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah,
And
that's the
he said,
usual practice.
and he said, this is a practice. He used to be in the organization. He is in the very senior most position in the ADNOC. Under him, there are a number of people, subordinates are there, and two are working. I mean, two are doing the PhD with him as a colleague. Yeah, and in our institution itself. So overall, what I understood that the person is having very much punctuality and discipline since he is in a senior most position. He has to.
Same. And in
Well,
our industry, that is a requirement.
absolutely, absolutely. So, when your vacations and everything comes,
I don't have vacation this year. I have to work straight through.
uh-huh,
So I've been working 12-hour shifts this whole week until 9 p.m.
okay.
This whole week. It's past.
So your major area of work is like operations and I mean administration itself, right? Training and development. No,
Yeah.
training and
It's a
development.
mix. It's a mix. It's training, but not just training. So
Mhm.
it's how can I say this? It's capacity building for the country,
Uh-huh, great.
for the whole program. So it's nuclear and radiation. And we have we've got over 3,000 licensees, radiation
Oh
licensees
my God. Okay.
in the country, because every hospital, every dentist practice, every
Uh,
clinic that uses an X-ray machine, that uses an ultrasound machine, they get their license from us.
oh,
Everything.
so
So it's not just the nuclear program.
so even the hospitals,
Hmm?
yeah, okay.
Even the hospitals.
Okay, new
Even
information.
even these small practices, these small dental clinics
Mm-hmm.
that does the X-rays on
Yeah,
your teeth, they also need a license from us.
okay, great.
So they need two. They need a license to import the machines into the country, and then they need a license for operating those machines. So we have to
Okay.
go out, verify that the quality assurance practices and the radiation safety practices are adhered to in accordance to the law. So we have to check
So
if
Vada
they're
will be a
not just
part of
safe.
it. Vada will be a part of the visiting.
Everything.
Okay, got it. So now you are in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
Perfect. So how do you feel? How do you differentiate the working in the nuclear and the previous work experience in the being an assistant professor in the college and the university?
Yeah, it's very different.
Both are different,
Yes.
entirely different.
It's very, very different. Very, very different. I enjoyed the teaching, but I felt like I needed more real work experience, and that's why I left the academic industry to go
Very
back
good.
to corporate so that I could give back even better to the students.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Really great. Because previous day I was having a conversation with one of my friend who is an accountant, who is looking for some teaching job in UAE itself. So he's having the 7 years of accounting experience in UAE and finance manager position. And at the same time, he was having the work experience being an assistant professor in India, almost 2 years only in India. Okay, only in India. After that, he came here. Now he's looking for a teaching job. Then I said, now you deserve to be in the teaching job since your experience being a finance
Correct.
manager can be best used for the
Correct.
ACCS students and CMS students, and many students are there from the finance and accounting and auditing background. They will feel the difference of a teacher. The teacher who has a knowledge of only, theoretical, and the teacher who comes with the theoretical plus
Absolutely.
account, practical will be really, really differentiate.
Absolutely. It does make a difference because now you can give them real world experience. And you can
I started years before when I was doing my, soon after my graduation, I started a enterprise. It's a small shop. Okay. And it has closed. We started with a lot of dreams, and finally we have closed because we understood that, okay, expenses are more than our revenue. Then we stopped it. Although we started after our the post graduation. Small shop is a stationery shop only with my friends, 4 friends. We started. The knowledge and the information that we have got about the starting an enterprise, getting a license, and meeting the people and clients and all is really awesome. So sometime I may give the examples in my teaching. This is the experience being an entrepreneur. I'm not a big entrepreneur. It's a small shop at stationery nearby in a school. So it has given me a lot of insights and exposure.
Yeah,
I,
absolutely.
I do agree with
Mhm.
your concept. When you go back after having this experience, the experience is really great. As you mentioned, you're having 2000 plus or clients or something. So yeah, this experience, students will feel whenever you talk, you are getting a point in the session. Sometime sound, I believe, under the research methodology, some of the topic. When I start explaining, and I believe one of the time the Ryan asked the question, and you started explaining in between. Your explanation was sometimes more better than me because it is related to application level. Application level. You explain it. I don't
Yeah.
remember the particular concept what you have given.
Yeah, that makes a big difference because I always said I don't want to. I've left academics more than 20 years ago, but I will go back one day, and I want to go back as a retirement because
Okay,
then I feel like I've got like so much years of experience, and I've been in so many different roles and experienced so many different tasks in my life that I would give more value to students.
very good, very good.
But now I don't know anymore. I don't know. I think after this, I don't want to work anymore. Alas, I'm going to retire and retire for good.
Okay, Khalid. I don't know whether Khalid got my message today morning.
صباح الخير خالد.
I got صباح النور.
Oh my God. So you know
That
Arabic?
who?
شوي شوي شوي.
Oh my God.
No, but you said it
Little
in a
bit.
very. Your pronunciation is very good, actually.
I work with Emiratis, so they teach me very good.
Yeah,
They did a good job.
doctor. To answer your question, I already replied back to your message, but there is something wrong with your WhatsApp, maybe.
Oh my God. When I was start sending an audio,
Yeah,
yeah, I got it. I got it. Thanks for the comments and got
yeah,
you. Good morning. Yeah, that I got it.
yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Doctor. How are you? Sorry I'm late.
You are late. Almost 2 weeks.
I was sick. I've been sick. Unfortunately, I had the flu for about 10 days. I was very, very sick, unfortunately. Apologies.
Yes. Now it's okay, right? Now you're okay.
Somehow, yes, after a lot of medicine and a lot of lying in bed. Yes.
Okay, great. Actually, before you people
Sorry.
comes, Vada was explaining about her experiences of being an assistant professor years before, 20 years before, and the present experiences being in the nuclear training and development section. I asked the differentiation between the both, and she was explaining. At the time, Khalid and Suji was not here. Okay, what's the time? 9:10. I would like to know about your progress on your first 2 chapters. I know that you are going through, busy schedules in your organizations. I know that you are in the topmost positions. So, can I know any updates? Because I want to start today a structure. already we discussed about the research methodology chapter and the previously when we are discussing about the research proposal. So I'll be reiterating the things once again to help you to prepare your third chapter, research methodology. And can I know any updates from your side?
From my side, I was working on the questionnaire and the first chapter.
So you're done with your question. You're done with your questionnaire.
Yeah, the
And
only comments, that small comments provided by you, need to be amended.
yeah.
And the other one already like start preparing for the first chapter.
Yes.
And working on it, the first one.
Okay. What happened for the Khalid? Khalid want to go ahead, and because of many other constraints, so he sent me his questionnaire. So we have reviewed it and made some changes in that, and he incorporated everything. Now, meanwhile, while he's preparing his introduction chapter and literature review chapter, background chapter, he's also doing his questionnaire collection. If anyone would like to do the same, they can also do. Otherwise, we can go in our own structure itself, complete in the first chapter and second chapter, then third chapter. Then we are going for the questionnaire development, going for the data collection. After that, we are coming back and writing the data collection, data interpretation, analysis chapter, then finalizing our dissertation. That is, two options are available here. So Vardha, can I know where you reached in the first chapter and second chapter?
First chapter is done. I'm busy with my second chapter.
Perfect. Any difficulty?
Yes. Second chapter is the context. And to find...
Mashallah, you're done with the first chapter, Warda?
Yes.
Very nice.
So it's hard work, Khalid.
I know it's hard work. I know. I can tell as well.
But you know, if
those who have done,
if I sit down for 6 hours straight and I just do, then I
would
achieve
never
a
do
lot.
this.
This is what I'm doing now. So in between,
lucky you, Warda, because you have maybe working hours time.
no,
So you can focus after the
no,
working hours.
I
Or
do
you
this
work as well from
over
home
weekends.
sometimes.
No work from home. I was just telling Dr. Ashad now that I've been working 12-hour days this whole week this week. So I leave house, it's dark. I come home, it's dark. And this is how my life has been. But I do this over the weekends. On a Saturday is the most productive days because that's the day where I can sit for 6 hours straight. And when I sit, I can actually write a lot.
Varda used to sit for the 6 hours continuously.
Wow.
That works for me. Everyone has their own method. That's the only way that it works for me. So during the week, I spend time at night reading articles, reading something. I found on the Moodle platform, there is a module under the postgraduate hub. And under that hub, when you click on it, it gives you resources on everything, all the lessons. There's video recordings of all of the lessons, research, how to write a proposal, how to structure your questions, how to write your methodology, what you need to include. There's lots and lots of resources. So every day I would watch one video. Or and I would do this at night when I go to bed. So I go to bed sleeping with this lecturer's voice in my head. And that's the only way I could do it. That's the only way I could do it.
Lucky you, really.
So you're the one who make use of the materials. The Moodle account maximum. I could see from our
everything. I'm using everything on the Moodle account that I can find. Literally everything. The only thing is that I cannot find is I can't find any resources that are related to my topic because they
I could find one dissertation completely about the talent retention.
One, but in the nuclear industry, you will not find anything.
No, nuclear industry.
So that's why my chapter 2 is trying to filter out reports, because you are allowed to use any kind of industry reports when you're writing your context subject, your context chapter. And I found lots and lots of reports on the IAEA, OECD, NEA. There's some private companies, technical support organizations has also wrote up some reporting and just general white papers that they basically call it, and conference papers, but to filter them to make sure that they are credible enough to include. That's the part that takes long. That's why my chapter 2 is taking long. So I'm not sticking. I know that you gave us a little bit of an example of how many words to put in each chapter to ensure that we make the word count of 15,000. I'm not following that. I'm basically following what I can write with under the constraints of the topic. And then I will see right at the end what my word count is going to look like. Instead of being fixed on the word count, I'm putting it down like this now. So my chapter 1, I think I've got about 1,400 words. And you've recommended that we do 1,500. I've got 1,400 because I rewrote the whole proposal to make it a chapter 1 from what I could see. Most people's chapter 1s, the research projects and dissertations I've seen, is 3 or 4 pages. That's the chapter 1. And if we stick to the 1,500 words, then it will be about 7 or 8 pages. So this is what I've seen. And so I'm basically just following my gut and trying to figure things out and see what the end product is going to look like.
Perfect.
So I'm in chapter 2 now. I've got 2 weeks left.
Yes,
and
I would
then
like to
now
add
I'm
with the
in.
Varda's point, when you were adding the literature review, I know that nuclear industry is lacking a lot of materials because the works under the nuclear industry is very less. But
It's very
keep in your
sensitive.
mind, absolutely. But we are focusing on the very general information about the nuclear industry.
So that part is fine. The literature review part
Yes.
is fine. I've got enough resources for the literature review.
Literature
Because
review.
the literature review, I'm going to be exploring different models, then choosing a model, and then looking at other research areas industries that this research was conducted in that I could translate into my industry. So the literature review chapter 3, that is fine. I have enough resources. It's the context. It's the chapter 2 to set everything within the industry. That's the challenging one.
While you are adding the contextual chapter and the literature chapter together, there is no much concern about the lack of information. For example, if you are having the reduced information, no problem, because you're adding more information on the literature review chapter.
Exactly.
Under the context chapter, whatever available information, we can just manage to add it. No worries on it.
This is the point that I'm now at. So in my chapter 3, that's why I'm not worried about word count, because I know in chapter 3 I'm going to have to manage my word count, because I don't want to give a textbook. I don't want to write a textbook. That's the thing that I know that I have a tendency to do, is to write a textbook. In my previous master's thesis, that was one of the issues my professor had with me, is always telling me that you need to keep it within the scope. Don't write a textbook. So I know in chapter 3, I'm going to go way over the prescribed word count. That's why I'm not worried about chapter 1 and 2 being under.
Yeah, once we have written whatever we have, the information we are having in a very concise manner, later we can manage it as well. No problem. We can manage it. Sometime the thing, whatever we have written literature review, sometime we can take it in our first chapter sometime. And in the talking about the first chapter is an extension of your research proposal.
Correct.
So what all you have written that you're repeating over there, it would be good if
you
you can
reframing
it once again. Sometimes you may be writing a little bit more. You may be writing a little bit more into that. And word count, the first chapter, no worries on it, because our first chapter can be a little bit more good, because all the invigilator will be markers will be having a good eye on the first chapter. So you can manage, for example, the 1,500 words only for the first chapter. You can increase it to 2,000. And the next chapter, you can somewhat manage it. And even 15,000 word total count, which means how much we can increase? Anyone?
What? From the proposal?
No. Total
What?
dissertation is a 15,000 word.
10% maybe?
10%, absolutely, which
Yeah.
means 1500, right?
Yeah.
I've seen people's dissertations on the Moodle site.
More than
That was 20,000. That's
yes.
way more than that's 25%.
Yes, I will tell you
So
very openly. I have told before to Khalid, you know, on the basis of the word count, if you're increasing the word count, I have never got any complaint from the Gloucestershire, university side. Like, okay, the student has increased the word count and all. But I cannot tell you, okay, you increase your word count, and if anything happens, I don't want to take the responsibility for that. That's fine. But as of now, students has increased number of word count. I didn't focus yet on the word count side because no
Dr.
complaint we have
Ashad,
received yet. Yeah,
let me explain to you how the word count
yeah,
works. The word count is not about sticking to a certain number of words or not. What they do is, and I mean, you will see it in the rubric does not talk about word count. It doesn't
yeah.
have a metric that is going to measure word count,
Mm,
where they make a judgment whether you pass or fail just on word count. What they do want to see is that within the count, that the words that you have used, were you adequately able to resolve the problem that you
yes,
have mentioned? If you
absolutely.
have not been able to do that successfully,
Then
then
it's matter.
that becomes a deciding factor. So the word count doesn't really make that much of a difference. If you have 20,000 words and you're still not able to articulate
It's gone.
your answer to your research question, then they're going to say you have a problem because you've used
Absolutely.
all these words, but you were not able to resolve or find a solution or make a proper recommendation for future studies
Perfect.
to solve the solution. That's what they look
Yeah.
at.
Yes, absolutely. What you said is absolutely correct. I do agree with that. And can
So,
I
doctor,
ask you
just
one question?
quick
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
Talking about scoring. Any idea when are we getting the scoring for the proposal that we have submitted already? It's
Yeah.
still not
Yes.
yet scored.
Yeah, yes,
According
yes. It,
to,
it is it is there. It will be taking minimum
yeah,
1 month time period.
Oh, okay.
There is a
yeah.
result grade release time also visible. Okay. And one more thing, please notice,
Mm.
once they release the score, sometime it will not be properly visible for 1 week. Someday it may be one hyphen. It happened the previous time as well. But after 1 week, which means I consider almost 40 to 45 days, then you will be getting
Mm.
the
Mm.
absolute result for this.
Yeah, it actually says it on the Moodle account, on the
Yeah,
postgraduate page. It actually says that do not wait for your proposal to be assessed because it will take 4 to 6 weeks for them to finalize and present the mark for you. Continue with your chapters. They actually
absolutely.
mention this thing that it takes, and they give you lots of rules on what you can and cannot ask your supervisor.
That's why we are starting right now, our work right now itself, because we are not waiting for the research proposal one. Once I didn't get any negative comments on my work as of now, my students have done. And it's like very general comments, which even students are not even incorporating, but we can incorporate later as well. But it's not a major change. That's why I have a strong conviction on your research topic. That's why I ask you to continue with the same. And now I have a question from the words what they ask here. If we are not answering the research question, then even though our word count is very higher, then although we are not answering our research question, then it's a very important matter. Sometimes they may be reducing the huge marks from our side, from their side. Okay, my question to you: we are answering our research question where exactly, in which chapter? Anyone?
Chapter 6.
Then anyone else? Khalid and Sujoy.
The conclusion. I would put all the evidence together and then in the conclusion I'm answering it.
Okay, conclusion then.
It's in our discussion / conclusion. Depends on how many chapters you have.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's because your chapter 4 will be your research methodology. Your chapter 5 will be your findings. Your chapter 6 will be your discussion of your findings, and this is where you start making the links to your
Very
research
good.
question. And then in your conclusion, you usually put down recommendations for future studies where you
Absolutely.
see that there are still
Yes.
some holes or gaps in your
Yes.
research.
Yes, there are a number of research I could see. Usually people will answer the research question, the discussion stage. Obviously, we are having the findings. With the help of the findings, we are going to answer the research question, research objective in the discussion part. There are some researchers, they also comment all the research objective and questions in the data collection, data analysis and the interpretation chapter. They'll be linking with that. We are getting some answers out of our data analysis. So we are linking with our research questions and the objective. What Sujoy said is in the conclusion side, that's also having a relevance. There are some researchers, I could see that they are taking they're concluding all the things, all the chapters and everything. Then finally, they're also answering the each research question under the conclusion as well. Any method we can follow as per your convenience and your ideology. There is no problem for that, but we must answer all the research question and research objective, then only it will be concluded our entire dissertation. Okay, then so about the Vada, the first chapter is almost done with. Second chapter, you are on the progress. What about the Sujoy?
Quite similar. I've actually got this week off, so my plan is to actually get through second and maybe a little bit of third chapter this week. I'm going to try and I'm going to take inspiration and try and do the 12-hour days because my family's just gone away. So I'm on my own. So I have a bit of time this week. So I'm hoping by the end of this month, I have something constituting a framework of chapters 2 and 3, and maybe a little bit of literature review as well.
Perfect. Very good. So Khalid is also in the progress. Okay, before I'm coming to my third research methodology chapter. Research methodology chapter, already we have an idea. Anyone's remember any of the theory related to research methodology, any other name or anything.
So in this research onion.
Very good. One professor is here. So yeah, one professor
Yeah,
Bharat is here.
You drummed this into our heads. So how are we ever gonna forget the research onion?
Okay.
Never gonna
So we are explaining the same, that research onion, right? I'm going to give you one more idea. I'm not explaining the concept. I don't need to explain. The session will be concluded, wind up very quickly, because I want to give you how your research methodology chapter can be written. It's very simple chapter. Very simple chapter concerned to many other chapter, because things are in our hand. We don't need to find out many things into this, because already we have written our research proposal. What all we have written in the research proposal under the research methodology, we are writing little bit more. The page will be maximum 4 to 5 page maximum only for the research methodology chapter. I'll be sharing you one of the dissertation model. So before that, I want to ask you someone, like, is there anyone who is investing in the stock market?
I'm investing not in a stock market. As I'm investing in bonds, government bonds.
National bonds.
Oh, that's good.
No, not national bonds. I'm going with Oman International Bonds.
Oman?
Yes.
How it works, please tell me, Khalid.
So you've got some bonds to buy from the government itself. So for example, it depending on the market price. So the starting price will be, for example, it's 100. So then
okay.
$100 for bond. Let's say you bought it. Let's say at 99.
Yeah.
Okay. There is two things. There is the ROI and there is capital appreciation.
Absolutely.
You take into consideration two factors in here.
Yeah.
So the ROI, they will still give you ROI to the maturity date, which is 247. So it's like 20 years. Okay. So they will give you until the maturity date, the ROI calculated on 100 dirhams, no matter how much you bought the bond. Even if you bought it higher, even if you bought it higher than 100 or lower than 100, they will still give you at 100. It's like a cap. They will give you at 100 your ROI, and then you will get the capital appreciation. But this is, it's a long-term investment. It's not short-term. So people who think, oh, in 2 years I'll make a lot of money. No, it does not work that way. It's a long-term investment opportunity. You take into consideration two factors: the ROI and the capital appreciation.
Okay, Khalid. So, you invested in that. So,
Yeah,
are you getting return on investment like in
of
yearly
course.
basis or monthly basis? What type of?
It's they give the dividends every 6 months.
Okay, okay, okay. Because you
Yeah,
know why I'm asking you? I want to
yeah,
know since you are in the real estate,
yeah.
and
But this, by the
I'm in
way,
the investment right
it's not
now.
related to real estate. The government bonds is not
No, 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 no,
related to real
no, no.
estate.
I'm
But
talking
just
about.
I wanna give you this small highlight so you understand what was the reason I invested in bonds, not
Yeah.
in stocks. There is a huge
Yes.
difference between both.
Mm.
Stocks is very related to companies, not related to
Absolutely.
governments.
Yeah.
So there is a huge high risk in there, you know.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
you either make money, a great money, a huge money in 6 months' time, or you lose money.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the
Yes.
government bonds is completely different because it's a long-term investment, not short-term investment.
Hmm.
And that's where it's more safe because the ups and downs are not much,
So,
maybe
so much.
1%, 2%, 3%, that's the maximum. Plus
Yes.
you're making your ROI. So the return on investment, it's basically 6.5%, which is a huge number. Now
Uh-huh.
even banks are reducing the rates. They used to give 3.5%. Now they have the last call in the US for the
Hmm.
Treasury, for the Federal Treasury.
Hmm.
They made announcement 0.25, reducing in the rate. So that makes as well the stocks and the bonds are more profitable for people, and people are hungry to buy more in there because the rates of the banks, if you put your money in the bank as a fixed deposit, they will give you 3.25%. But if you buy the government bonds, it will give you 6.25 or 6.50%.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 So when you started, Khalid?
I started with this, I would say 8 months ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it
So
was the right
you
time actually to buy. Yeah.
okay. In which channel are you using? I will be discussing you personally
My
anyway. Because
channel, my channel is the most safe channel is my bank.
bank
Because
itself.
I'm a platinum member with the bank. So I
Okay.
get an extra, like I get a relationship manager who's taking care of all my assets in the bank and my investments in the bank. They are dedicated people. So this person, she is dedicated to an investment in bonds only. So she took all the courses. So she's helping me in when to take decisions, what type of bonds that I need to buy that does not have high risk. So depending on you, what you want. You want to make money fast, you can do this, but there is a high risk. You want to take your time. You don't mind even if you make money after through 3, 4 years later. Then they will advise you what kind of investment you need to go with.
Very good. Very good. So what I plan actually, I was having an stock market account years before in
Mm,
India in
mm,
NSE and BSE stock markets,
mm.
and later I started buying some shares. I mean the national bonds in UAE. Then late now I'm just in the New York, Nasdaq securities and all. So I
Okay.
was looking to purchase some shares of Tesla and Apple
If
and
you
etc.
want my advice,
Yeah.
okay, before you take any step on any business or investment opportunity, I strongly advise you at the moment to go with real estate.
Hmm.
Look, no matter how much the bond or the stocks will give you, you don't have an asset. Where is your
Okay.
assets? It's not, but you don't know where is your, it's in the computer. You don't know who's controlling your assets, right? You don't have a really like strong control on it by yourself. Where in
Mm-hmm.
real estate, I strongly advise you to go with it. Within 6 months, my apartment made more than 25% just capital appreciation in 6 months' time only.
Mm-hmm.
So that's even much stronger appreciation than any bond or stock in the market.
Okay, great. I will have some discussion with you, Khalid, without
Yes,
taking
sure. With a
others.
pleasure.
Actually, I want to discuss you, like in interactive ways, Khalid. But you have given me all the information in a very nutshell. So whatever I want to discuss
But
is not
don't take
having any
decision.
point.
Discuss with me because there are a lot of insights that need to know about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I got it. I got to know. Perfect. Now, I would like to share you about the reason why I ask you, Khalid, I will tell you. When I went with the shares of Tesla the previous day, and within almost 1 or 2 months, the Tesla share has been almost doubled. The reason mainly because Elon Musk is supporting the Donald Trump, and Donald
Absolutely.
Trump, these are the reason. But at the same time, now the share price is going down because of the Donald Trump has made a biggest warning against the BRICS countries. Yeah, this UAE also including the BRICS countries because UAE also joined in that. A number of other countries like Saudi Arabia, many other countries will join. So it's
Yes.
really open war. It's open cold war.
And
We can.
that's why I invested in Oman, because Oman, they're following the US instructions in every single thing. They are very
So
close to US when it comes to rules and regulations, when it comes to taking a decision, investment, properties. And if you see now, Dark Global, they have already signed a JV with Trump in order to build an Oman Trump Tower. So the investment in there, it's related to Trump personally. So that give you really like a relief in investing in Oman.
okay, that's the new information.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Khalid. I have to invite you for some stock market discussions into the
Anytime.
universities. Yeah, it's really great.
Anytime.
Really
Anytime.
great. Okay. I'm also dealing with an ITFI, one of the module, International Trade Finance Investment, so that I'm really keen interest in all these things. I'm learning, I'm doing some research in that because students who are learning basic theories and all, they will not be happy with that. So they must be having some application on it. That's why I started buying the bonds and etc., investing the shares and all, cryptocurrency and etc., so that students can have a view. Yeah, a professor who is having the application will be more interested to the students rather than professor with a theoretical knowledge. Just before I said to the Varda is going back to the academics after a few years. Yeah, so her students will be really happy being a faculty like Varda because she's her industrial experience. Yeah, it's really pivotal. It's having a pivotal role. And yes, Khalid and Varda and Sujoy, only you people joined today. You remember this? Are you able to see this research onion? The screen I'm
Yes.
able to see. Yeah, I'm not going to discuss. I'm not going to discuss. Yeah, see, these things you have opted under the research philosophy one, positivism or critical realism, interpretivism, as per your discretion, as per your matching with your dissertation and topics, you have chosen one. And for the methodological choice, you have chosen another one. Research approach, you have chosen research strategy, time horizon, and techniques. Everything you have chosen yourself, which is matching with your topic. Now, I wanted to share one of the dissertation model. Are you able to see the dissertation research methodology now?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Here, how they have written this chapter. This is something very simple. You can read the introduction chapter. See, they are writing what all the things they are going to cover in the research methodology chapter as a 3.1. This one you can write. If you're reading, just make a 1 minute reading here. In the section analysis of the research method that will be used in the paper has been presented. This process by which the researcher will be conducting a research in the paper will be stated in the section of the dissertation. The philosophy, approach, strategies, choice, time horizon, techniques and procedures, data collection method, data analysis will be stated. See, these things we are writing here. And Saunders 2019 model they have chosen. So they started writing what is research philosophy. We have some restrictions of writing in detail in our research proposal about the research methodology because word count. Here, there is no limitation for that because you can increase 1500 words, 1700 words you can write. There is no problem for that. If you're choosing research philosophy, then you need to explain. And one more thing I want to tell you, wherever you are writing your important philosophy or your approach and etc., highlight it, give the bold letters. And here you are writing what is research philosophy, what are the different types of research philosophy. You can also mention other types of research philosophy also you can mention in words, but not in detail. Okay, even you can bring some pictures in that. These are the different research philosophy, but I have chosen the positivism. The reason is this. Since we have explained the previous classes, I'm not going for an explanation. And second one, research approach. There is a research approach. We are taking number of approaches here, deductive, inductive, and abductive, different approaches. And why I have opted deductive approach. This is the reason. See, if you are reading this, you will be able to understand this researcher is writing all the research approach in this particular paragraph, see, which includes deductive and inductive approaches. Inductive approach is this, and deductive approach is this. And I'm following in this paper deductive approach. The reason is this. Similarly, you have to write. So I also wanted to tell you, you need to relate with your research title. So for example, Khalid case. Khalid is telling, I'm choosing the quantitative analysis. The reason is for my topic, the analysis of real estate investment decision on the basis of the socio and economic legal factors, which is purely based on the quantitative data analysis. I wanted to know, I wanted to analyze the market trend on the basis of the results I'm getting or information I'm gathering from the respondents. So you need to write on the basis of your research topic itself and the research design. And you also need to mention your time horizon. I would suggest you to have a separate heading for each research onion. Here they have written all together. I mean, some of the heading they have written all together. And data collection method, that also you need to mention. Sampling method, we have taken a separate session for the sampling method previously. So you need to choose which sampling is. Already you have chosen, you need to write it. Data analysis method. See, data analysis method, you have to mention you are using SPSS data method. And ANOVA, these things are the statistical tool we are measuring under this SPSS. Once again, data analysis method, you need to write, we are using SPSS latest version to process our data. And in this, we are using all the statistical techniques. Mostly for everyone, we'll be using reliability and validity testing, factor analysis, correlation, regression, ANOVA, and crosstab analysis, etc. Now, most of the people may not be having all these idea what is a correlation, regression, ANOVA and all. We'll be having a separate session when we start discussing on the final data analysis and interpretation chapter, before you are going for a data collection. And after completing your questionnaire, we'll be having a discussion on the statistical tools and techniques. But now in this chapter, research methodology chapter, you can mention all these things. In the folder already is there this dissertation model, okay? You can refer it. Then ethical consideration already you have written, but it was very short. You write little bit detail, okay? Little bit detail. Reliability, validity, and relevance, some of the students already written. If they have the data, they can write it here, or you can wait for my session. In the January, you will be having a session on this research methodology once again on these elements, okay? Factor analysis, reliability, validity, and other statistical tool. At the time, you can wait it to complete this one, this particular 3.8. Then I wanted to tell you one more thing. Khalid has given me yesterday his questionnaire. Not yesterday, okay? I mean, weeks before he has sent me for the alterations and modifications and all. So I want to tell you, in that we have developed dependent and independent variable. Dependent and independent variable. I'm not sure about, Khalid, whether I have sent you from where we have taken and referred all these dependent and independent variable. I want to share you. I have
you
shared.
haven't shared me yet.
Let me share here. It's the information for everyone. The dependent and independent variable, if you are framing, then we must be having a knowledge from where we have taken all these elements. Let me check it out. Oh my God, it's deleted.
Your screen frozen.
Yes. Okay, 1 second. Resume. Are you able to see?
Yes, better now.
Okay. See, for Khalid, he is following this 1 to 5 Likert scale. a uniformity he is following in the Likert scale rather than going for a different Likert scale. It will be good if you're having uniformity for that. Okay, someone is telling I also wanted to use other Likert scale in my questioning. Okay, it's up to you, no problem. But uniformity will be very helpful for our data processing. And he has having dependent variable real estate investment decision. Dependent variable. He wanted to check what all the factors are affecting socioeconomic factors, that is independent factor, and under which he has given social factor and market trends and economic stability, income and affordability as an independent factor. Then legal factors he also taken. And I want to tell you.
Sorry, Dr. Ashad, we are still seeing the previous dissertation.
Oh my God. But nobody's telling anything. Okay. Now are you able to see?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, perfect. For a clarity, in our research methodology chapter, we also wanted to write from where we have taken our questionnaire. If we have developed, okay, we can write self-developed. But sometime we may refer some of the questionnaire, we may refer some of the articles for developing our questionnaire. So we need to mention that in our research methodology chapter. So what I have said, he has followed a Likert scale uniformity in his work. His topic is okay, study of socioeconomic and legal factors affecting real estate investment decision. So real estate investment decision, he has taken these questions. See, we are measuring dependent variable, that is a real estate investment decision. So where we have referred all these statements that we need to mention in our research methodology chapter. And socio-economic factors and other factors from where he has taken. So investment motivation and decision making. This behavioral intention scale has been developed by Hudson 1991. In his article, he's talking about behavioral intention scale. So some of the questions are something relating to the scale of Hudson 1991. So simply you are mentioning under your research methodology chapter, under the investment decision and in real estate investment decision of the dependent variable, these questionnaire has been referred from these article, behavioral intention scale of Hudson and etc. Okay, so once again, I am reiterating, for example, independent factors. He has referred all these things, economic well-being scale of Danner and market orientation scale of Nauer and Slater, and social influence and measure of this unified theory of acceptance and use of technology of this person, etc. So you can simply mention from what are the article we referred in order to frame your questionnaire. Okay, now if you find difficulty, just keep it. Later also we can do that, no worries. But I wanted to tell you, under your research methodology chapter, you can also mention from where you have chosen all these statements. And if you develop, okay, out of your understanding, you develop all the questionnaire, it's fine then. But if you can refer any of the article, name of the author, any scale developed by other authors, that will increase your authenticity of your work. That's all about I wanted to tell you in the research methodology chapter.
So Dr. Ashad, what Khalid has presented here, where he's identified this is the Likert scale that he's going to do, these are his independent variables, these are his dependent variables, these are the questions. Can he add this to exactly as is, add this as maybe a new heading under the research methodology to say, the following scale has been, the scale development has been taken from these resources. These are the questions, and he puts it exactly like that: dependent variable, independent variable, Likert scale, etc., etc., etc. With the references, would that be sufficient to cover that particular chapter?
Absolutely. Simply, even though we are not writing all the research, all the questionnaire in our research methodology chapter, but we are simply mentioning dependent variable, that is realized investment decision. The question have been referred from these are the articles. Asad 2023 and Varda 2021 and Sujoy 2020. That itself is enough. Just mention, that's only all about. Okay, not in detail. There is no need to mention everything in detail, but at least mention these are the articles we have referred. It will it will authenticate our studies. That's all about. What you said is correct, Vardha. And one more thing. Yeah, Khalid, I will be sharing you that one as well, okay, if I didn't share with you. Then data
Yeah,
analysis
please
chapter.
share that one, please.
Yeah, sure,
That would
sure,
be
sure.
good.
So I wanted to know a clarity from your side that in the research methodology chapter, what all the things you wanted to get more clarity. Can you please tell me right now? It will be helpful for others as well. What to write and what to not to write, etc. Or it is clear.
No, I think that was my only question, was do we include our scale developed and the reference of our scale developed? Because in my case, there are
Yeah,
thousands of scales that's already out there. So I
yeah,
don't need to go and rewrite anything or think about any questions. It's just about contextual framework
yeah.
and
Then no
writing
problem.
those questions, maybe making some modifications to make it more industry specific. But I'm
Absolutely.
not going to be writing any new questions. I'm not going to come up with any new questions. Everything is going to be what's existing data out there
Okay. Yeah.
from the research articles and journals that I've already seen.
Yes.
I think I've done like something like more than 30 articles already so far. So there's lots and lots of data, and that's what I've seen in some of the papers, not all of them. Some of the
Yes.
papers under the research methodology, they included what the question I just asked, where they say these questions were my dependent variables, and then they would
Yeah.
put a list of questions, and they would say that they would cite the source of that questions, and then they would say in the next section of the questionnaire, these were the questions, and they would cite the source for that question. So that was my only real issue that I had with this particular chapter, because I wasn't sure. I did not see in any of the dissertations in the chapter 3 the full questionnaire. I've seen it as in some papers and in some dissertations, I've seen it as an appendix that they add, but they don't put the whole questionnaire
No, no. They are not
in the
mentioning all
body
the
of
questionnaire. No,
dissertation.
no.
They
They are not
just put like
mentioning the question.
highlights.
Yeah, questionnaire will be in our appendix only.
Yeah.
But
And then the
whatever.
other question,
Yeah.
the other major question I have, I
Okay.
don't
Okay.
know how others feel about that, is the
Okay.
analysis.
Yes. I will tell you. I will tell you. The first thing, there are number of talent management, talent retention questions are available. Existing questions are available. Now you are paraphrasing or reframing it as per your nuclear industry needs. Yeah, you are framing in that perspective. So if you can refer, already the existing questionnaires are there. So in that research methodology chapter, you can refer, you can mention this questionnaire. Please refer the appendix. Your questionnaire will be there. And you will be obviously you are having a dependent independent variable. So dependent variable, you don't there are 1,000 literatures that are available and questionnaires available in terms of lateral management, but most appropriate question that you have referred from any of the, that you can mention the name of the author, then done with your chapter. You don't need to write a lot of things.
Yeah, my other question, which is
Yeah.
a big question, is on this the statistical analysis. I don't know how to do this. I've never
Yeah.
done it in my life. It looks very complicated.
No.
I see people mentioning SPSS and I see them mentioning Cronbach
Yes.
alpha.
No worries, no worries.
And they're talking about coefficients and they're talking about
Absolutely. This is part.
here we go. This
This
is
part,
like,
yeah.
I don't know what they're talking about and I don't know how. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yes.
And
This things
feels like feels like it's a 6-month
no,
course on its own just to
absolutely.
understand this.
Absolutely. I will tell you these things you are talking about, right?
Yep.
Okay, this KMO partial test and factor analysis, everything is very simple, Vardha. As a nutshell, we are checking the authenticity of your questionnaire. That's all about. And that these sections I'll be doing on behalf of you, and I'll be showing you in SPS how I am doing this. The once we got the result, see here KMO and Bartlett test, we got 0.848, yeah? This is only a statistical test. Simple clicking, we will be getting all the data. Okay.
Okay, so
And
there is programs available to do this.
Yes, we are having the programs to available. I'm having the SPSS software. I'll be doing on behalf of you, and I'll be giving the data for you, and I'll be telling you, and you got 0.78, which means your reliability of your questionnaire is good. See, this one you need to write as per the reference. I'll be discussing you later. See, the accepted value of the KMO sampling adequacy is 0.7. If you got 0.7 for your total questionnaire, then you're having the adequacy of your sampling, which means your sampling is adequate. It's enough for your questionnaire. I mean, the total data collection. I will be discussing you not now. There is a separate session for in detail about all the statistical tool. So no worries about it. Under the data collection, data analysis part, I'll be having a separate session. No worries right now. You don't need to think about it now.
Yeah, because I was thinking I'm gonna try and find someone to do the statistical analysis, because I don't have the luxury of time to teach myself new models.
You can depend someone for the statistical part. If someone is good in the statistics, no worries. At the same time, I can also help you for you in detail. And this interpretation, we need to understand. Yeah. Once we got it, a result, we must be able to write.
I haven't gone through it or seen it, but it looks like Warda said, very complicated.
Super complicated. Wallah, it is super complicated. I was like trying to make sense of this, and I'm like, I don't even know what this means.
And honestly, doctor, now I need to trust Warda's comments, you know?
Yes.
So, yeah, it's true. It looks complicated.
I will tell you. It's not a complicated one. See, once you have a data after collecting the questionnaire.
For you, there is nothing complicated.
No.
But for us, it's completely different.
I understand.
Yeah, because for me, for instance, in engineering studies, we don't do this kind of statistical analysis. We run a code, we run a simulation. Whatever the simulation comes out, that simulation, we will interpret it. We will interpret our graphs. We will normalize it, whatever the case may be. But this is another beast.
Okay, cool right now. I will tell you, the previous time, these analysts are able to see these things.
Yes.
This is simply available. Once you have a data with you, you will be having a data, right? Anyway, you are sending the questionnaire, people are completing the questionnaire, you will be having data in Excel sheet, right?
Yes.
We will be converting, I will be helping you to convert this data into SPSS in a single click. It requires little time for me, I know that, but I will be doing that.
Is there like how do you do
these things, these graphs and everything,
graphs, it's not a big deal. I know.
Okay.
But I'm saying, what is the method that you use to convert this let's say data collection into this kind of analysis? What do you use?
Let's not ask her a question, because Dr. Asher said he's going to do it for us. So this session is recorded.
No, but for me,
we can hold him to this.
I love to understand the way of doing things, even if I'm not doing it, but I want to understand the process.
Absolutely.
So if I get asked about it, I know about it,
Absolutely. So, that is why I'm telling you, Khalid, this is you are going to do, but I will be starting the things with you. I'll be putting all the things in the SPSS. Right now, in my MacBook, SPSS is not supporting. In my wife laptop, I'm doing that. Yes, please tell me.
No, sorry, my question, I'm talking about, do you use any software? Do you use Excel? What do you use?
SPSS.
Because people do it through Excel sometimes, those kind of calculation, and Excel is very huge, as well. So even me, I don't know how to do it, honestly speaking.
Okay,
but I want to know what if you have any specific software that you do it, or for example, you do it through just
SPSS.
Excel.
SPSS
right?
itself. Yeah.
Okay.
SPSS is a software that you export your Excel data, because your data will come in Excel, then you just export it into the software. But oh my goodness. To understand it is another monster.
I will be showing you
this is not easy, actually. It's not easy. Even if you do it through Excel, it's very difficult. Excel is very difficult to work on, really. It's not
Okay,
easy
the
software.
basic part of your analysis, like graphs, some
Yeah.
of the question analysis you can do through the Excel itself and have it with you. Other things, like Cronbach, alpha, factor analysis, reliability, that the things I'll be doing for you. And you need to descriptive. You have to provide the description. That is why we are having the January and February and March month we are having. There will be separate session. Is very easy part that you will not find
Okay.
difficulty. No worries on it, Khalid
Okay.
and Vardhan Sujoy.
Interesting.
Yeah, no worries on it. No worries on it. Now you focus on the 3 chapter
So
completed.
it's really funny, doctor. You always say,
No,
you
no,
always say, listen to this, listen to this. You always say, guys, it's easy. It's very simple. But this is
it's
for your brain. So
oh
you
my
need to
God.
understand, you have a different brain than us.
Same thing, Khalid. You are good at in investment, real estate. Somebody is there looking
Yeah,
after your
true, true.
asset in the bank
Yeah.
separately.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't have all these things. Yeah, someone will be good in something and someone will be good at
That's very
something.
true.
Yeah.
Very
Okay,
true.
okay. So now I would like to suggest you to everyone to focus on the first initial 3 chapter and just conclude with that. And we will be having a review on this. If anybody is working on the questionnaire, meanwhile, yeah, I don't force you right now because Khalid is a little ahead of it. So no need to right now focus on the questionnaire side. But if you're doing, then you can send me. I can help you to finally frame your questionnaire. That's all about. So can I
our first 3 chapters is taking a lot of time, so
okay, no problem. No problem. Take your time. Take your time. We have time. We have time.
But Dr. Jess, the last question for me before you conclude. The last comments that you provided on WhatsApp is the last thing to do with the questionnaire, or there is something else that we need to add?
No, this is always less than 17 years we are not focusing is ethical issue. Less than 18 years we will not focus in that one. And that another one I will tell you, you have framed the questionnaire, right?
Yes.
So it is in the 3 pages questionnaire,
Yes.
major
Yes,
questionnaire.
I saw
you can make it all the question together
in one
then
page.
in the right side, not in only one, you can make the 2 page also, no problem. But in the right side, all the Likert scale will be coming all the together. But you're having one question, you're writing all the Likert scale down. Then similarly, it may be a problem for you. Those who are reviewing, those who are writing, they will feel, yeah.
I understand. Yes, they will feel it's very long, actually. Yeah.
For your study, dependent and independent variables are clear. That's why we can go ahead.
Perfect.
Okay.
Sounds good. Perfect.
Or anything. If you're missing in that, which means you know better than me about the real estate market, in the legal factor, the social economic factor, if anything missing particularly which is not addressing your questions,
I can add. Yes.
You can add. That is up to you. That is up to you. You don't need to get my review for that.
Okay.
But write down the question in order to answer in terms of Likert scale itself.
Right. Got you.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. So I want to have a separate session with the Khalid for knowing about the stock market in detail.
Anytime. Let me know anytime.
Okay. So thank you so much, Sujoy,
Thank you,
Vardha,
everyone.
Farid, for your patience, for
Thank
your
you.
time. Yes, thank you so much. We'll meet.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.